Let's now talk about the physical sciences. There's a lot of beauty and imagination and observation and thinking and wondering and probing and experimenting and finally discovering and going on that process that has happened in the physical sciences: physics, chemistry, biology, maths also. Maths is used as a tool here. So the physical sciences reveal the fact that the mind can see things, can understand things, can look at things. This seems almost obvious, but notice that this kind of a thinking is totally absent even today. After so much has been discovered, so much has been thought out in so many fields, 99% of people don't think at all. They borrow the things others tell them. They obey orders. And that is why this whole field has become so so unknown to people that they actually think, even intellectuals who are unaware of the discoveries and unaware of the subjects, literally unaware of the physical sciences and biological sciences, who have never even thought that one should study. They are not aware enough to know the importance of studying the physical sciences and are more into humanities, even intellectuals. And the common people anyway don't study anything. So the whole field of science and technology has still remained a mystery, while we are using every single product and service which comes from science and comes from technology. Look at the number of products which comes from science every day. Let's look at your own house, the TV, the cell phone, the AC, your car, your computer, your laptops, your washing machines, even at home, your fans and your lighting systems, the houses, the architecture, the paints, the interior design. The whole world has thought for 300 years. Enormous thought and enormous technology has gone to give you that house that you're actually enjoying today. And there is a certain wonder and beauty implicit, I believe, which we do feel, but which is so unnamed, so unknown in a way, like so taken for granted. It is so idiotic, our mind, when it comes to our ignorance with respect to the scientific and technological world, that we do not feel either the importance of technology or grateful for technology, or especially feel the wonder, sheer jaw-dropping wonder of technology. But we do feel it, I know. When we go to a city for the first time, usually, or suddenly we see the city, we just wonder from where all this has come. Even the most common person in the world will wonder at what is this incredible thing. I would say a common person will wonder more, because he has not deconditioned himself by some false belief saying that technology is bad, science is bad and everything. With a childlike wonder, when you look at the whole world, it is absolutely wondrous. Not only is it wondrous, it is of a huge value. It is a value mainly because it shows what man has achieved, what man can achieve. If you truly see one invention, study one invention fully and deeply and understand it, you will discover not just that invention and how it works, not only the working of that invention, but you will really become confident about life. You will understand that you can do anything. You have a power to understand and discover the truths. So what is this science? What is this so-called truth about science? It was a very strange experience for me that after 34 years, suddenly one day I understood that science is not what all I had been taught about formulae and half understood, half memorized things which were actually, now when I look back, were like actually faith. I had to have faith in all those things. Like it was like religion. It was like superstition for me, science, really. Though it in the name of the science, I knew somewhere it is true, but I never felt it. because I never saw it. They told me that there are planets. I never saw them. They told me that sun is so far away. I never felt it. They gave me some explanation about the moon becoming cut, and every night we see the moon in different shapes. I never wondered about it. They never told me. They means I'm talking about the teachers, the world around me. I never asked the most obvious wonder questions. Like, I never asked questions. But yet all around me were questions only. Are questions only. Now at this age of 55, I feel that I'm just like a child wondering about the world. Like seeds becoming plants, rain falling. These are wonders to me. But they gave explanations to that. They say rain falling, it's evaporation from the sea, and now it's falling because of condensation. They gave these words, evaporation, condensation. I didn't understand rain. They gave the word gravity. I didn't understand gravity and how things can fall without any force. They gave answers to everything which was superficial. And I understood nothing. They said chlorophyll makes the leaves green. But I never understood the whole mechanism in depth. Suddenly one day, when I really read closely, because of the darkness and because of the whole ignorance surrounding me, I could not and did not read closely. The real books and the proper books did not even know, wasn't even exposed by some enlightened person in my childhood, which I missed. So later in life, because I was seeking, I finally found it. And it was so simple. Science is the integration of all data. The data comes from our senses. Our senses observe things. It's as simple as that. When you put all the observations on the table, then certain laws come out. The facts speak for themselves. Sometimes the facts lead to experiments. You create an experiment, you create a fact. Like Rutherford created an experiment wherein he tried to find out the inner structure of matter. Or Newton created a prism experiment to find what exactly is light. You can, because once you start observing, once you are free to observe, confident that observation is the way of thinking and getting the truth. I repeat, once you know that observation is the way of getting the truth, observation and generalization, thinking. Thinking means that. Thinking is not in the air. Thinking is from observations. You ask questions and you gather data, you see and more and more. But this process is it's very easy to say this, but it's totally unknown in the world of education. It's known only to scientists. That is why science, even till today, that for the common man is voodoo formula. He has no clue to science. He doesn't know science, and he doesn't know that he doesn't know. He has no clue that he doesn't know that he doesn't know. Absolutely no clue. Which is why he can't read the science. If somebody doesn't read, you will get something from it. He can't read. He doesn't know why he has to read. He thinks he knows everything, when he doesn't know that he doesn't know. Nobody has broken that barrier in him. Nobody has exposed to him. Nobody sat with him and taught him. You can sit with a person and teach him once you discover it. So all this phenomenon, rainbows, rain, which we see around us only, the blue sky, which we see around us only, I'm talking about. The blue sky, the seeds becoming plants, the flowering, the things that you observe all around you, all the time, winds moving, and you observe the inventions all the time. You're looking at the cars in front of you. You're using a computer. You are using Facebook, but have you ever asked how Facebook works? How is it that you can create your own profile? How is it that when you type, your name comes in there? How is it? What is that Facebook? It is something amazing. What is that internet, which is something amazing, where all the information comes to you with just one query? What is this computer, this laptop, this cell phones? How is it that when I press a number, something goes somewhere and it reaches the other side? Have we ever wondered for 1 second as to what is happening when I press a number of a friend, a certain number, 10-digit number? Something goes away from my cell phone, reaches the friend, it starts ringing there, he lifts, his voice is heard by me. You think this is not a wonder, but we have never asked how it works. Yet there is a reason, a very simple reason. Very simple, but it is a little deep, that's all. It's deep and simple, but not mystery. But what the world has done to the students, done to the young people, done to the old people, done to the whole world, is to keep this as a secret. It is almost a conspiracy. It is almost, for me, it's almost a conspiracy. You have dumbed down people. You means the whole world itself has dumbed down people. Why is that? That needs to one more question. How comes after 300 years of such developers and science and technology, we all have dumbed down each other? And all of us notice we are doing our work in some scientific establishment or some industrial establishment. Even when working in a scientific and industrial establishment, even for example a doctor who knows how to bring about cures in the eye, I have noticed that they do not have a depth of science. They know that particular compartment and how it works. Of course, they have a certain feeling, of course. They have a certain beautiful feeling. Those who really know one part also. But they don't understand that part which they know is part of their whole self. They are actually have compartmentalized that knowledge. And that is why even that knowledge is limited. They cannot be great scientists in that knowledge. They simply follow procedures and have just a touch of that science. A mechanic, when he repairs his bike, doesn't know the bike at all. He doesn't know. He knows if he does this, that will happen. It is for me, it is a kind of idiocy that you have not asked that question ever. What is happening there? Because you don't know that you can ask. Really. You don't know that you can ask. You cannot blame anybody. Intellectuals blame common people as stupid, as, they degrade common people. They degrade ignorance. But actually, there has been nobody who has stated that in clear terms. Every single invention can be understood. Every single phenomenon around you in the physical world can be understood, means we can know what is happening. Why does water vanish? Where did it vanish? Where does water vanish? Where did it vanish? What is sound? What is the connection between your ear and things banging? Balloon bursting. Why does it have a loud sound? This phenomenon, physical phenomenon of wind, of sound, of light, of heat, of electricity, of magnetism, of inner working, of changes. Something burns, it becomes rust. See the changes. See your whole body. How many things are inside? We know that there is something which is happening in the body. We know broadly that there is a digestive system, but we don't understand 10 more steps ahead. We don't understand that this broad understanding is just a broad outline. What is really happening inside is physical and chemical. And what is physical and chemical sciences? It is, the whole universe comes in there, see? It becomes a holistic pursuit. The whole universe comes in. Elements, compounds, elements, 100 plus elements are there in the universe. And all are made up of atoms, and atoms are made up of electrons and protons and neutrons. See, even now with a little bit of introduction, you can get the feel of it. All these electrons, protons, neutrons, everything can be understood. You can really understand. That's how it was understood. There were observations made, and all these laws were arrived at. I repeat, arrived at. They saw the laws, you can say that. You can use a sentence like that. They saw the laws. They saw it like sensory perception. For a scientist, it is not in the books. For a scientist, it's a completely different experience. Once you go even a little bit into science and really read the books closely, understand every single concept this way, where everything has been understood with observations, with deep insight. Observation is the insight. People think observation is nothing. People say, okay, I'm seeing everything. You're not. You're not. To see, for example, to see, let's say, to understand a body, for example, your own body, is not a joke at all. It takes 4, 5, 6 years to understand your body. But we must get a feel of the basic principles at work. How does a nose work? Ear work? Eye work? Your inner tongue work? What exactly is happening? You have to observe it. Or your conclusion has to come from observation and experimentation. You don't have to do it again. It has been done. What has been done, we have to simply look at it, study it and understand it. Not know about it, but know it. We can't know about science. We have to know science. We can't know about history. We have to know history. The truth is in the details. The truth is in the specificity, in the particulars, in the actual logic of it. So the only simple, happy way is to take a physics and chemistry textbook and simply, deeply read it. If you have any doubt, go to YouTube, ask questions, get the answer, and you will be shocked. It is not just cold logic or cold reason. These are stupid words used by intellectuals who don't know anything, neither science nor have asked any questions. They don't have any wonder of life. When you truly wonder about life, all subjects become one. What's the difference between wondering about a religion and wondering about the sky? I feel it's both the same thing. It's both wonder. A child is asking questions. Asking questions is not specific to subject. It's not your particular speciality. This is where we have to understand that first knowledge has to be holistic and generalist. Then it can be particular. You have to see the forest and then the trees. You cannot just see the trees. You have to see the whole forest. You have to see every single thing in detail. And that process is extremely wonderful, blissful, gives you extreme self-confidence. It makes you look at the world with such great height. You start laughing at the world's stupidity. You become liberated. People talk about spiritual liberation. You read a book of science, you become completely liberated. Forever, irrevocably. Because you will understand, oh God, of course there are scientists who on a certain level get confused about spirituality and all that. But inside their soul, they know that world. They have the precious feeling of knowing the world. The great people are the ones who don't discover anything new. This is the biggest secret, open secret, which nobody in the world knows. We think somebody has discovered something new. No. People who discover new things first discover what has been discovered. First they discover it with their own eyes. It is a rediscovery. Even if Newton has discovered, you have to discover it. You have to see all the observations, every single one of them. It will require for you to read 30, 40, 80 books. And then the whole science, history, geography, everything is understood. So you can look at science as actually a wonder questions. Why is the sky blue? Why do we get winds? Why do we get volcanoes? What are volcanoes? How did we know about earthquakes? This is how I think it's a good way to study. It's just happily study, especially it's a good way with children. Why is the sky blue? What is this cloud? What is this white cloud? What is this dark cloud? Why does a cloud become dark? Don't give easy answers. There are no easy answers in science. You can know an answer only if you know everything connected to it. And once you know everything, that's why a good method is first to read everything. Then again reread it, Reading twice is a wonderful method of any textbook in science, because once you reach the end, again you can come back. It's like dawn breaking. Reading about science is like dawn breaking. It's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Slowly the light comes. And finally, by afternoon, it's absolutely clear. Absolutely, blindingly clear. But you are sitting in sunshine where the world is in dark. You don't only understand science, you understand everything via science. Via anything you understand the whole world. If you really truly understand music, you know the whole world. If you notice the wisdom of all great thinkers, all people who have first-hand knowledge, the wisdom is the same. Their personalities are different. The wisdom is the same to same. A Beethoven, a Galileo, a Socrates, an Ayn Rand, a Charles Dickens, a William Shakespeare, Leo Tolstoy. In the core level, I would say, if we can set aside their personal problems or personal issues, in their core level, something they had seen, which is beyond or sublime, more sublime than what we call sublime. People don't talk about the sublime. That is the whole point. 99% of people don't even know there's something called sublime. And then religion comes in, and religion, which came long back and talked about the sublime in God terms, should talk about the sublime in secular terms. That is all the change must come, that has to come. This world has no God or no mystery or no mystical rather. There are mysteries, but there is nothing mystical about this world. This world is knowable. The world is knowable is not a dry fact. The world is knowable is life, is the way we see the world, know the world, relate to the world, wonder about the world, love the world, love your scene, love your confidence, ask questions. Again and again we come back to thinking, wondering, knowing. In fact, I'm telling something so commonsensical. All I'm saying is that take a book and read it. 99% of people don't do it. They think reading is memorizing. No, reading is not memorizing. Reading is integrating one book with another. Observations of reality. Book is a lens, a window to the actual world, the real world, the concrete world, the particular world, which in your mind, you are holding it as a unit. You are reducing the whole world via deep principles, deep insights. These insights are commonalities among phenomena. Gravity is not only on Earth, it's on Moon also. So once you understand observations and you understand gravity, it's like a sweep. You are able to see all the planets and its gravity. Once you understand light, the very nature and the concept of light. So the word, obviously the core word here, the critical word here is concepts. Once you know a concept, it is like you have covered hundreds and thousands of concretes in your mind. Even a concept like table means all tables in the world. This is not given to an animal. This is given to us. It is a nature. This is what was discovered by Narendra. That a concept is a mental integration of two or more entities with their measurements omitted. That means two concretes can have some measurements, but they can have any measurements. Something like X in algebra. A table, TABLE, is different from the actual table you are seeing. TABLE is X. This is so interesting. This is so fascinating. It is so fascinating that a human being can live within himself and look at the whole world by closing his eyes. I find it amazingly fascinating. This is one of the quotations of Victor Hugo when he talks about I close my eyes and I look at the whole world, or something like that. Something similar. All great thinkers and creators, all great people. I'm not talking about people who are only famous, even privately, unsung heroes. All the people who have discovered, they make an impact on the world. They have kept this world going. But it is largely, hugely unknown in the whole world, and that is the reason why the world never rises from its mediocrity and its averageness. It goes into the completely wrong hands, into politicians, and you do have these people, these power lusters, who never allow a person to be enlightened. Marx was wrong. It is not about the money, which, in fact, Marx was one of the reasons for this kind of a darkness. This kind of a darkness comes when you obfuscate truth. Obfuscate truth. When truth itself is debated, when we don't know the meaning of life, and the very meaning of the meaning of life has become like a subject, a dry subject, an idiotic subject where people keep on discussing and never live. We are living in a world where we know and we don't know, and we know that. So a good method is to take the science textbooks and relate it to history, relate it to literature, and know the whole world, literally know the whole world by proper reading, close reading of all the books. I'm only appealing that everybody should read, and I'm giving a full philosophical perspective of what is reading and why we should read.